Thomas Borowitz, and we are your hosts of Texas High School's new sports podcast called Speakin Sports. By my side are Braden McKinnon, Nick Hall, and Samuel Cody. On this podcast, we plan to hold a weekly show around 30 minutes long. We plan to host guests and discuss all Texas High and national sports. I keep up with Texas High sports through being basketball statistician and going to many football, baseball, and soccer games. Samuel?
I keep up with Texas High sports by being part of the football program and being involved in newspaper.
I keep up with Texas High sports by helping multiple sports and running social media pages.
I keep up with Texas High sports by being a part of the soccer team and being the sports editor for the Tiger Times Online.
There you go. And, just last week, Texas High School's varsity basketball team, boys, went to the first round of playoffs, and unfortunately we lost to Lufkin in the first round. We are pretty small in basketball. A lot of our guards are short. So, Samuel, what did you think about the season?
I thought it was a pretty good year. I wish we could have gotten more out of it considering the talent we had. I really thought we had a chance against Lufkin, considering we've played well against them recently in the postseason, played well in Lufkin, but it just didn't happen to play out.
Yeah, we started out slow, down 31-10, but we came back. We lost 62-47, so it wasn't too bad of a loss, but they had one really big guy inside. Coach Skinner said that was dominant. I didn't get to go to the game, but what did you think, Nick?
One problem I had with the season of basketball is that in the first half they do so well and they have a good lead, 10 plus, and then towards the second and the third quarters they start to lack, and then fourth quarter is just a blowout. I mean, you could see that in any home game like Mount Pleasant or Sulphur. Yeah, I mean, they just blew a lead, and it's simple mistakes.
Cowboys.
Oh.
I think that it was good that we made it to the postseason. Correct me if I'm wrong. We started off pretty slow in basketball.
We did. We played a lot of Arkansas tournaments against really good teams like Lake Hamilton and Bryant that were really, really
Carver.
good. Yep.
Carver was. Whew.
Yep.
I mean, I get that, yes, it's sad that we lost in the first round of playoffs, but we started off with 1 win to 6 losses. I think we came a long way. We progressed a lot, and we made a lot of, steps forward in the right direction, even for next year with the junior class. And I think that's really something to build off of. Coach is going to really pull things together towards the end of the season.
Right, because if you would have asked me in mid-December, are we going to make the playoffs, I would have said, no, we're not good enough. We're not winning enough games. Our guys are exhausted. We have injuries. We have kids going to ISS, different things like that. But we really did pull it together there at the end of the year.
Next year it's going to be interesting to see who steps up. Lots of seniors leaving. We're going to need some of those juniors to
I think the freshmen are going to step up more than our juniors.
The freshman class looks pretty good.
The freshman class
they
is
are.
Alex Orr, that's all I got to say.
They were the number 1 freshman team in our district, so we definitely do have some potential upcoming.
If I'm not wrong, I think they're the first freshman team in 4 years to win district.
I didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
It's interesting. I didn't know
So
freshman teams good.
Another team that started out strong, soccer. What's going on? What are the recent struggles because of?
Well, soccer season, we started off well pre-district, but we played Greenville before our first district game. We lost. They're a very good Dallas team, though. And then we played Marshall. They're not that great, but we did beat them 2-1. And then from there, it was just a downward hill. I think what I noticed is every game at home, we play well, but like Nick said about basketball, we give it up in the final half. It looks like we play great, we play attacking, but as soon as we give up, it's just a second of a chance, and every team in our district pounces on it. And so we make one mistake, and they score. We make another mistake, they score. And suddenly, with 20 minutes left in the game, they're 3-1 up. Mm-hmm. And when it was just 1-1 at half, we were playing our best soccer.
Right.
So we are not capitalizing on our mistakes, on the mistakes that the other teams are making as well, I don't think. But it's really just getting really frustrating. I think the whole team's being frustrated because we feel like we're playing great. We feel like we should be winning these games because we're better than most of the teams we play.
Right. It's
just one mistake, and it cost us the entire game.
What's Coach McCarthy's mindset on the whole season?
Coach McCarthy he's what we've been hearing in practice in the locker room all the past week or two is we're failing forward. Last year we didn't hardly win any games.
Right.
But this year we're getting better. One crazy thing that I learned this morning, last year we conceded about 107 goals. This year we've conceded 30.
When there's 15 soccer games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Over 100 goals, that's a ton for soccer.
we had a stretch where we shut out about 4 teams in a row, and they're good
Good
teams.
teams.
Pittsburgh, one of them. I mean, we shut out a bunch of teams. And then we also, last year, I think we scored about 30 goals. This year we've scored 50. But
So, yeah,
yet we're
pretty much.
losing. So it's just
Right.
like we're losing close. It's going to get better, but it's just we're all, I think as a team, frustrated, and we really feel sad for our seniors because we thought this was our year.
Right.
We really believed it was our year, and we wanted it. It's just the little
So is there any
mistakes.
chance of making playoffs?
We are out of the playoffs.
Out of the playoffs, dang.
Yeah, I've noticed y'all. Another mistake is like y'all like give a lot of free kicks, and like y'all get carded a lot. I've noticed your coach got carded like last game, I believe, and he was out. Or not the last game, the game before that, and he was out this last game. I feel like it's also another reason for mistakes, simple mistakes. It's just killing.
Emotions get the best of y'all
I
sometimes.
think last year we played really soft on the ball and just on the field. Like we just gave it to the other team. Like we didn't act like we wanted it. This year, Coach McCarthy has really enacted a fire in the whole team.
Making the other team earn it.
And we want it. Like if you're gonna, like we're not gonna let you score easy. Like you're gonna have to want it bad.
Right.
Like nothing's easy, but I mean I feel like the free kicks. I could blame the refs. Like last night, the reffing was terrible.
Yeah.
I don't even get me started with that. We
Right.
should have won that game, but the ref could not get the game out of control.
Well, I mean, the Cowboys say the same thing. Right?
I mean, looks like a big step in the right direction, though. Maybe next year y'all get over that hump and win some of the closer games.
And even next year, we are in one of the hardest soccer districts in Texas, and it gets harder next year.
You said it's the SEC of
Soccer, yeah.
Texas soccer, yeah.
And we're getting 2 new teams in there next year.
Who?
The White House is coming in, and I forget the other team, but
Patty
they're taking
Mahomes.
I thought White House was in our district.
Are they moving up or are they moving
not
down?
not in our soccer district.
Yeah, it's different for every sport.
I don't remember if they're moving up or down, but they are a very good team. They're a good team, and so I think they're replacing Sulphur, and there's someone else that's getting replaced. It might be Marshall.
Do you think we'll still keep Sulphur in basketball then? Because we don't play them in football.
I think we do keep Sulphur in basketball. If I'm not mistaken, I've not
I
heard
don't
of
think
any.
so. I think it's all like
No?
spring sports districts being changed, but I
Really?
mean,
I-
I'm not.
Maybe-
I'm not gonna say for sure.
I hope
I'm
Sulphur-
not
I hope
I don't
totally
think
sure.
we play them in baseball either.
I think we play Sulphur in baseball.
I don't know.
If I took a look at the schedule, I think there's 2 games with Sulphur. Might be tournaments, though. I don't know.
So this year, we did not get our Texas-Arkansas football game, because of COVID, but I will say we get it in baseball Friday night at 7:30. I'm excited to hopefully some Texas High fans bring out some entertaining signs, some college game day
hoping.
type signs, and we play El Dorado Thursday night at 7:30. Turn around the next day, play at 1 o'clock on Friday, and then we play Arkansas High 7:30 Friday night. Samuel, what are you thinking about this game?
Arkansas game, big game. I'm hoping it's a big game. It won't be like football, but hopefully students from both teams will come out, and I would say it's going to be competitive, but I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know if they know who's pitching for both teams. I bet you Arkansas High pitches their best player, Ty Wade. Arkansas
They do have some
commit.
talent, yeah.
He can hit. He used to play on my old baseball team. He's a stud. What do you think, Nick?
I think that Arkansas really doesn't stand a chance against us. I mean, just being honest, I look at our pitchers and I look at our batters and I'm like,
We're
they're
stacked.
solid. Like, we're stacked. I mean, against North Lamar, I've noticed Steele didn't do too good, so they put Sawyer in, and Sawyer just kept getting them out. And I mean, if someone does bad, we have another one right up. I mean,
We do have deep pitching. Robert Cheney.
We've been pitching a lot of our younger guys too, so later in the season, doesn't look like we're going to have arm problems. Yeah, I will say Arkansas High does have a good sophomore class, so maybe next year's will be okay. Ty Wade's only a junior.
He is only a
And
junior.
they did just lose Braylon Bishop, who did get drafted.
Where did he get drafted by?
Pirates.
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 Yeah.
The 26th round.
Dang.
Man,
Straight out of high school is not
Yeah.
bad.
I was talking to some of the people in my church. I go to church with a lot of Arkansas baseball players, and they were talking that crap to me. So I'm excited to see if they can hold their word. I have to be in Hallsville for my soccer game, but I really wish I could be there because I love
Yep.
just atmospheres like that because I just know it's gonna be crazy.
I wish this week we did like the Arkansas traditions. you know,
Right.
like the-
Maybe with no football game, they'll get moved.
So I
now.
had asked Miss Walter if we could do like a bacon fry or a tailgate, something before the game, and she said she wouldn't be able to because cheer tryouts are this week. So I mean, Walter, I might.
bacon fry once this year.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But maybe we could do some kind of. Maybe I can get together. We'll do some kind of tailgate before.
Maybe we can get like a
Friday.
spirit day or something like
Something,
that.
anything
Everyone
like
wears
that.
their
Friday, yeah.
their
Although Arkansas High should lose Friday night, Arkansas basketball upset number 6 Kentucky at home at Bud Walton. Samuel?
We've been on a tear. We beat Tennessee, Auburn, and Kentucky all in about a month. Played LSU Wednesday night and Tennessee to close it out Saturday night in Tennessee, so it's going to be a hard game.
Yeah, at LSU. Is it at LSU tonight or at Bud Walton?
Bud Walton tonight, last home game.
Is LSU any good this year?
They're on the bubble. I think,
Dangerous for Arkansas.
yeah, that is dangerous, but I would not mind us losing, maybe move out of the 5 seed, because 5-12 matchups are always bracket busters.
Well,
March
I think
Madness.
LSU has some injuries, though, and I think
They did. They
have-
started the season really good, and I think they beat us at the beginning of the year. I don't know.
Well, so did A&M, and look at us now. 10 straight losses.
Cowboys. Go ahead, Rain.
I really don't know too
Yeah.
much about it. I do like watching not Arkansas basketball, but college basketball
Yeah.
in general. I'm just now getting into more of the March Madness. I'm going to make a bracket this year.
March Madness
how I
is
do.
awesome.
Best time of the year.
Yeah.
Best
really
time of the
is.
year. You know,
It's-
checking your phone during school, seeing, as you said, the 2 seed down at halftime,
I mean,
the 15 seed.
March really is a great time for sports because you got March Madness, supposed to be baseball, even though
Spring
we're not
ball.
getting that.
Love spring ball.
Yeah, I mean,
NFL
no,
Combine and draft.
no football,
Combine,
but you
yeah.
get draft, and hockey and basketball are starting to get towards the playoffs.
Exactly.
Our soccer team looks like a hockey team out there. That'd be hidden.
That's my bad.
Just running
That's my
people
fault.
over. So, in recent NBA news, James Harden, one of Samuel's
my favorite.
favorite players, but you're a Ben Simmons hater.
Yeah, I don't-
James Harden got traded for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-rounders. Now playing with Joel Embiid on the 76ers. Nick, I know you've been watching highlights on Instagram, seeing James Harden put on a show.
Sure
What are you
have.
thinking?
I think James Harden likes to put on an act when he doesn't want to be somewhere. So I think he put on that act in Brooklyn. It was like, I don't want to be here, just throwing up shots, not doing good. But then he got moved to Philly, and then first game back, he looked so amazing. I mean, I also noticed that there is some teammate issues already, though, with James Harden and Danny Green.
I saw that, where
Yeah.
Danny Green went throw him the ball.
They threw it all the way down to the other side of the court, and I'm just like,
I don't know. I don't know what that was all about.
I mean, deadline is passed, so you can't do anything. But I mean, Danny Green played less minutes. Who are you going to bench, him or Harden?
Exactly. And James Harden's 2 games as a 76er, he has 29 points, 16 assists, and 10 rebounds, and 27 points, 12 assists, and 8 rebounds.
And clinch me the basketball fantasy playoffs because he is that good.
He is that
How
good.
many
But guess
points
what?
does Ben Simmons have so far?
0.
This
He's
season.
still
He hasn't played
resting his
1 yet.
back.
His back hurts
From resting.
from resting, from doing absolutely nothing. And speaking of fantasy basketball, on my team I have Joel Embiid, and since Harden's gotten there, he's had 37 and 34 points, and he's had 9 rebounds and 10 rebounds. So
Well, I mean, when a defense is just focusing on James Harden and, like, the 3, you got Joel Embiid back there just one-on-one, and nobody's really –
2-man
he
game.
is
can't
a
double
beast.
both of them.
Yeah.
He is a beast. Joel Embiid is.
Looks like they're going to be a force in the East.
Definitely.
The Bucks in competition.
It's between the Sixers, Bucks, and Nets. I mean, people say the Heat and say the Bulls, but I don't think they stand a
I like
chance.
them both.
I don't think they stand a chance against the
I-
Bucks, Nets, or
I think the Nets go
Sixers.
farther than the Sixers.
out of 2.
Oh, no,
I feel
no,
Ben Simmons'
I don't think so.
defense
Ben
allows,
Simmons' defense,
allows
exactly.
KD and
If he can ever
Kyrie
get on
to
the
just
court,
Like he doesn't. They don't. The Nets do not need Ben Simmons to score. That's not what they need. They have KD and Kyrie for that. They need defense and rebounding. And that's what Ben Simmons brings.
They're not going to play enough games together. Kyrie, he just got cleared, didn't he?
No, well,
No.
they just made this new rule. It's like he can't do any more home games.
He can't. Okay, so what happens is he can show up to the arena and he can sit in the stands and watch, but he can't play because he's considered a Nets employee, and any employees in New York City aren't allowed to perform their job if they're not vaccinated. So no, he cannot play yet. But the mayor, some Adams, I don't remember his first name, said that he was thinking about changing the rules because visitors can come in and play, but home players can't come in and play. So
KD had an MCL sprain, so those 3 have no minutes on the court together so far. And I mean, playoffs aren't here yet, but
Well, don't sleep on Seth Curry. Seth Curry, I think he dropped near 30 points his first game.
him and Joe Harris can both shoot.
Joe Harris.
They do have, on paper,
Drummond.
it looks well.
Andre Drummond might help them in size.
My-
I think
my
DeAndre Jordan just got cut by the Lakers, and they said that they're going to try to pick him up.
I saw that as well.
My friend made a $5 bet after Seth Curry dropped 30 that he was going to drop another 30, and he dropped 6 points. And I thought that was really funny.
Tough, yeah. Inconsistent, because especially with Kyrie on and off the court every game, you don't know how much Seth Curry will get the ball. It's a hard bet. LeBron and the Lakers. 3-10 in the last 13 games. I saw a thing on the Instagram the other day that somebody made like a $100 bet like before the season for the Lakers to miss the playoffs, and like that doesn't even cross anybody's like mind for them to miss the playoffs back then. But now it's possible. They're 2 games ahead of the like line where they would miss the playoffs.
Now, well, in the old playoffs, they wouldn't even be in. It's a playing game, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
They're the
play-in.
9 seed, so they would have to beat the 10 seed and then beat the loser of the 7-8 seed.
The 10th seed is the Blazers, by the way.
It's the Pelicans.
No, it's the Blazers now.
I checked it last night. It was the Blazers. Or Pelicans, I mean.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's the
wow.
Pelicans. Yeah, because the Blazers lost the game. Because
Nick, I
where's
don't know.
Dame? Is he hurt?
Yes, he's getting reevaluated in 2 to 3 weeks.
Anthony's doing good though.
Anthony Simons,
30
yeah.
points per game in the
Yeah,
past 3
Simmons,
weeks.
Simmons,
I don't know
whatever.
if you'd want to be the 10 seed if you're the Blazers. Like, what's the point? Just, I mean, not supporting tanking, but
Well, when you have
just get a higher draft pick.
you trade away your star players, and then you're relying on these young guys to go against these veterans. I mean, what we're doing right now, it's pretty good. We should be tanking. We should be last.
Just add another young guy, and then next year you can go compete for
You
maybe
see
a
how
6
good
seed.
CJ McCollum's been doing since he got
The
traded?
Pelicans, yes, he's been getting like 30, but the Pelicans have been losing.
I don't know. They've been falling, but so have the Lakers too. And Russ, not anything like anybody thought he'd be. He isn't. Russ Westbrook, he is.
It was
He
a,
was
it was a
doing good
dumb
last
free.
year.
It was a dumb free agency signing.
It was. They should have gotten DeRozan.
DeRozan.
Oh well,
Balling. Both of them
well,
on
when
my
you saw
fantasy
DeRozan
team.
last year, I mean, you can't
Amber
just expect him to go off like he is
True.
right now.
He
So,
really
I mean,
wasn't. He wasn't that critical on the Spurs.
But when you look at Russ and that pickup, everybody thought, well, you need a 3 shooter. Russ can't shoot no threes.
His field goal
And then you have
percentage is awful.
You have
Howard
two.
Steph Curry's.
You have 2 point guards, LeBron and
Awful
Russ. So
layups.
which wasn't going to work out in my opinion.
See, here the thing is in both the East and the West, there's teams that dealt with injuries in LeBron's Lakers and also KD's Nets. So, you know, the 1 seed in the East is, I think it's the Heat right now. I think they just passed the Bulls. And they have a chance of playing the Nets in the first round because the Nets have fallen so low that they could end up being an 8 seed, which is crazy for them to have to play the 1 seed in the first round. And then also Phoenix is the 1 seed, and they could play the Lakers in the first round, which unlucky for the Suns. It's not a good first round matchup for them.
I
Although
got
the-
Suns in 6.
I also got the Suns there because, I mean, look at last year. What did the Suns do to the Lakers?
they beat
Ended
them.
them.
Right now in the NBA, there's so much talent because you have players from like Kim Durant's generation who are not at the end of the career, but they're getting close. And then you have superstars like John Morant who are really just starting to
He's so good.
evaluate their game
is so good.
and get a lot better and almost achieve their prime. And it's meshing right now well where the talent in basketball is almost every team in the NBA is good.
Right. So Samuel, tell me. I want everybody to predict who do they think is going to. I want who you think, and then a hot take for who's going to win the NBA Finals.
I hate to go with the front runner, or probably the Suns.
To win it, or
To-
that's who you think? Like think or hot take?
I think they're going to win it. If Chris Paul comes back healthy, they got so close last time, and I think they're hungry to get back there.
True.
But in my heart, I would love to see the Bulls win it just because I love their roster and
Caruso.
DeRozan. Yeah.
I think the Bucks are going to win it. I think Giannis is still hungry for another championship, and I think their star players are not injury prone at all. You know, last year so many people got hurt in the NBA playoffs. Kawhi got hurt. You know, LeBron and AD were hurt, and Giannis, I don't know if he's ever been hurt in his career. So I can trust Giannis to be there when it counts most. And my hot take is the Los Angeles Lakers. We were just talking about how bad they are, but I mean, when can you doubt LeBron James? He is taking worse teams than he has now to the finals.
His
So
padding stats.
he is padding stats, but I will say, just like Tom Brady in football, you can't doubt LeBron James.
I'm going to have to take the Bucks too. I mean, I think Giannis and that solid team, I mean, it's just all built around Giannis. And last year we saw, I mean, nobody could stop Giannis, even though there was COVID and all that, which there still is COVID, but it's not affecting these NBA players as much. So
Right.
I think Giannis is still bloodthirsty and he's going to get out there. But if I had to do a hot take, I'm going with the Memphis Grizzlies on this one. I think Ja Morant will lead his team. You could say Mickey Mouse if some things happen, but I can see Ja Morant leading his team to a
One
championship.
player can't win a series.
See, I don't know.
He can win games.
Well, I mean,
He can't. He's a stud, though. He dropped
Brandon
50,
Clark.
50-something the other night. Desmond Bain.
Jaren Jackson and him pair well together.
And Steven Adams. They do have a good starting five, I will say, built around Ja Morant, who is a superstar.
I think they need like another shooter or score something in the draft or in free agency next year.
Yeah, I will say Ja Morant will have to be a superstar in order to get people to Memphis, because that's probably, out of all the cities where NBA teams locate, that's probably one of the worst ones.
Yeah.
And so free agents really aren't attracted there like they are to the LA and New York teams. So
They remind me of Atlanta last year with Trae Young and John Collins and Clint Capella. Two good big men, good guard, but both teams, I think, are a wing player away.
right.
I think this may be me blinded by bias, but I think DeMar DeRozan's got it. I love him. I love how he's playing this year. I mean,
You think the Bulls are going to win it all?
No, I think he's going to win his MVP.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I think that he's just been playing out of his mind, and he's really, if he keeps going the way he's going to go and just keeps staying consistent, something's going to give, and he's going to get the recognition he deserves.
Has anyone ever won Finals MVP, regular MVP, and like the championship would come with the Finals MVP?
Kareem,
Kareem?
I believe.
That would be like someone our Mon era could do that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I think LeBron did it in 2013
Probably.
because, on the Heat, he won MVP and they won the finals. Braden, who do you think's going to win the NBA championship?
Probably the Sixers. I just think they have a good mixture of everything that they need to win.
Sure.
They've got great defense. They've got great scores. They've just, I think
agree.
they're good, well coached.
I'm curious to see if Harden can really show up in the playoffs. He struggled whenever it mattered most in like 2018 against the Warriors. He just fell off in Game 7. Shot like 0 for 13 on 3. It was bad.
Well,
Nick,
I mean, if Harden does bad, you got Tyrese Maxey out there.
and Embiid.
And Embiid.
Yeah.
Is it too late for Harden to make an MVP push?
I think it's too late. I think he sat out too many games there at the end of the Brooklyn stint. And I don't know if there's ever been an MVP that gets traded mid-season. He did start fast, though. I mean, right as he showed up in Philly, he started dropping big numbers.
And he has gone a month before of just great scoring.
True. Nick, who do you think's going to win MVP? Give me your top 3.
Okay, well, let me just give you who I think's gonna win.
All right.
I call it the Embiid. All right, Joel Embiid is gonna win MVP. I mean, that's so obvious. He's going insane. As long as he does not get injured like he does in these past 2 years when he was MVP frontrunner, he's gonna get that. It's a lock. But two others I could see. Jokic, he won last year. He's also very consistent right now. But Ja Morant, if he keeps playing like he is going to push him up. He's going to push himself up there.
See, I think if I could pick one right now, I'd pick Giannis because I think he's the most consistent. And like right now, the Bucks are like 6th seed in the East, and I think they're going to make a late push to end up getting like a top 3 seed in the East. So I think he's going to stay really consistent. And then second, I'm going to have Embiid because I think with Harden there, they'll take a little bit of the offensive weight off of him, although they haven't yet. I think they'll slow down just a tad, play a little bit less minutes, get ready for the playoffs. And then third, I would have Ja Morant.
My problem with Giannis, you picking Giannis, is it's MVP, not best player in the league. Yeah, we know who the best players in the league is, but I don't think Giannis is as valuable to his team as some of the other people that are in the MVP race.
If we were stat picking, LeBron would definitely be number one. I think he's averaging 29.2 points per game.
It's like 29, 8, and 9, like something ridiculous. But his team's just not winning, so.
Yeah.
I'm a little biased with my picks. I kind of go with more my heart than my brain. I would like to be DeMar just because what he's done this year, and I've always liked him. Steph, likable guy, shoots all the threes, and then probably Ja just because of the way he's picked up his game this year and just how explosive and fun he is to watch.
Sure,
he's the best team. He's the best player on his team.
I agree. And like last night, the Mavericks beat the Lakers on TNT or ESPN something, and Luka dropped 30.
They had like a 23-point lead at one point.
And I mean, Luka's playing out of his mind.
They also came back from like 20 on Golden State a few nights ago. So
I saw that they were.
Yeah, the Mavs could be a sleeper pick, but I don't like the coach. I feel he doesn't run the offense right. I just think it's just doesn't use the bigs.
Who stepped in for Porzingis? They have that Powell.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
They have that Powell guy though. Like who's running the center for him? Is it Powell?
No, it's some.
I don't know.
I
Can't think of him off my head.
Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Texas High's new sports podcast, Speakin Sports. Thank you for watching this week. We hope to see you again next week.